Welcome to another edition of Coaching Minute with Brianne Lagori and friends, where certified coaches help leaders to elevate their coaching skills so they're better able to lead today's modern workforce. Today's guest is Jennifer Quist. Jen is a certified coach and has over 20 years of experience in the pharmaceutical space. She's held roles ranging from sales to learning and development to sales leadership, and currently is sitting in a global role where she leads transformational leadership and coaching development programs for leaders across the globe. Jen, I'm so excited to have you with us here today.
Thanks, Brianne. I'm super happy to be asked to be featured in this moment. And it's been awesome working with you on some of our leadership topics globally. So that's been awesome.
Yeah, you as well. I mean, we first crossed paths back in the day when we worked on a learning and development team together, and we spent some time as sales managers on the same team. So it's really cool to be reconnected.
Yes, we've been interconnecting for years now. It's like, the signs are always there. And yeah, no, it's been awesome. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, super excited to learn from your experience. I mean, you've had a ton of experience in the coaching space. You've led teams for many years, out in the field, day-to-day coaching. You've done your coach certification. You've led coach training programs across the world. So I'm really curious from your perspective around coaching. So why do you feel that coaching is one of the most important tools that leaders can use with their teams?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, there's just so much evidence out there suggesting that coaching actually has the most impact on behavior change and on team performance because it really empowers the coachee to come up with their own ideas and their own solutions, which means they're more likely to actually follow through with it because they came up with it themselves. I mean, people don't really love being told what to do, especially if it's not in line with their own belief systems, their own values, and really even their own personalities, right? So what I love the most too is that it gives people the space to talk and to be heard. And I think these days, especially in a business environment, it's such a luxury to be truly listened to without being interrupted or having other people's opinions getting in the way. So just having that space to be able to talk and have someone listen and then coming up with these solutions for yourself. I mean, this is why I think it is one of the most important tools that a leader can have.
Yeah, yeah, it really shifts like leadership from sort of like I'm up here telling you what to do to more of this like side by side, we're in this together. I'm just truly here to support you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So what impact have you seen like as you actually, support other leaders to be able to implement coaching across, countries across the world?
So, it's interesting because here in this role, we created a global coaching program for our leaders with the help of LCI. And, I think when you're looking at various different countries across the world, their definition of coaching is variable. So I think traditionally the mindset of coaching is, well, it's giving direction, telling people what to do, giving your advice because maybe you have some expertise in that area. And the impact that we've seen globally with this program is that people are really shifting that mindset. And now they're adopting a coach approach when they're working with their team members. They're asking more powerful questions. They're listening more. They're allowing people to come up with their own ideas rather than giving advice. So this has been really, like, I would say, a culture shift globally, and it's had a ton of impact to the point where, this has been recognized as through HR as well, adopting this kind of approach. So really building this coaching culture within the organization I work with. So it's been incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like as, the workforce evolves and many more younger generations are coming in, this is really the way that people want to be led in this type of way. And
Yeah.
I think we're kind of meeting people where they're at with this approach.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So in terms of your learning as a coach, I mean, you led teams for many years, day to day out in the field coaching. So what has been one of your number one learnings that you've had as a coach?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think when I was out in the field as a leader, maybe I wasn't doing enough coaching. I was probably doing more feedback. So that was a big learning. But I think now that I'm a certified coach, I think the biggest learning for me is that not every single coaching session is going to be a win. And you're not going to walk away every single time thinking, you've made this big impact and that's okay. And realistically, not every time there's a fit between the coach and the coachee. So at the end of the day, we're all human beings with different personalities and different styles. So you also need to recognize when the coaching connection may not be ideal for that coachee, right? And maybe that coachee is served better by a different coach with a different style. I think, if you've been coaching someone a long time and you just feel like you're not getting anywhere and the connection isn't there and it feels frustrating, then maybe it's time to change things up. So I think this is also a big learning as a coach, right? It's not always going to be a bang fit every single time.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. So how did you kind of deal with that? Or how do you recommend that leaders deal with that? If they're the leader of the team, how do you recommend them kind of bringing in another coach to support different styles?
Yeah, it's a good question, especially if you're also the manager of that person. I think this is where you can lean on the team, right? To do team coaching. There's other certified coaches within the organization. I think it's just allowing that person to have different styles and bringing in peer coaching, or maybe even being in a group coaching session, right?
Yeah. I love that idea of the peer coaching as well, right? It's like coaching doesn't need to be reserved as just a skill for people managers. We can all learn to be coaches to really support each other from a peer level. Sometimes we're coaching people at different levels in the organization.
Absolutely. Yes. And this is something I think that really needs to shift, because in organizations, it's not often thought of, okay, well, your coach is your direct line manager, and that's sort of where it ends. That's why I think peer-to-peer coaching is super important in building coaching culture at all levels across the organization, all functions across the organization. And then you're not always leaning on your manager, because a manager has to do other stuff too, other than coach, right? They have to, provide direction, sometimes they have to assess you. They give a lot of feedback. So it's nice to lean on maybe your peers side by side. You guys are in the same role to coach each other if you're struggling, coming up with an idea or a solution.
Yeah. I think that's where the rubber really hits the road in coaching culture, is that when we're coaching in all directions rather than just the top down.
100%.
Yeah. So speaking of coaching, of course, we know it's not giving advice, as you mentioned, it's asking questions. So what is one of your favorite all-time coaching questions that you love?
Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. But I think the one that I like the most is, what would your greatest mentor say? I think this really allows the coachee to get out of their own head and their own personal biases and puts them in the shoes of somebody else that they trust and that they respect. And it gives them that space to explore like different ways of thinking, because we all get stuck in our own habits and our own patterns of we can and cannot do. So if you reframe it and put yourself in somebody else's shoes, what they would do, it just helps sort of explore different alternate approaches that you might have never thought about.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, so often people get stuck when we ask them, what will you do? They're like, I don't know. But when you ask, okay, what would a mentor say? It's like taking them outside and looking back in, and it shifts everything.
Yes. Yeah. It's a really great technique. It's such a simple question, but sometimes they're caught off guard with that, right? But I think it's a super effective one.
Yeah, really, really powerful. Let's talk about something that I think is often overlooked in coaching. So I don't necessarily think that people really realize how much energy it takes and presence that it takes to be there as a coach, side by side, just listening. Sometimes it's easier to just give advice. And so, as you know, in our coach certification, we work with leaders to figure out, okay, what are the techniques that can help you personally get present and be ready for coaching? And so what is one of your favorite techniques that you use to get ready for coaching?
So for me personally, coaching sometimes comes between business meetings, other work meetings, and other topics. So I have found when I've had a coaching session, immediately right after a meeting, I am not in a good place to be coaching. I am not present. So what I do now is I make sure that I give enough time and let go of just what happened in that last meeting so that I can really truly focus just on the person that I'm going to be coaching. So what that practically means is that I won't book a meeting just prior to a coaching session. It means I'm not going to get caught up in going through work emails because that will distract me. I might feel like this urgency to respond. And again, it takes me away from that present moment. So I will sort of block time like before a coaching session just to get in the zone. I mean, it's a simple thing to do, but it's super important for me because I can be completely distracted if there's other things going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those back-to-back meetings are killer, right? Especially if we need to be focused and present and there was maybe a difficult meeting that happened before, it can just totally throw things off.
Yeah.
I mean, so you mentioned time. Sorry, go ahead, Jen.
No, there's just a lot of little things you can do too, just like the phone situation, turning off all the notifications, just things like that, just distractions in general.
Yes. Yeah, that was my question was what do you do with the time? So for you, it sounds like you kind of clear up any distractions. Is there anything else that you're doing with that time to kind of like get ready for coaching?
Yes, so I generally will always review, like I take notes when I coach. So I will sort of review the notes from the previous session I've had with that person. I will also go through my coaching model, the LCI. Just to refresh myself on the model because sometimes you can get stuck asking the same questions. You really want to be going with the flow and it be organic, but at times you can feel like, oh, what should I ask next? So I kind of refresh my mind on that, bucket list of questions that are available, just things like that, just preparing to coach in that way.
Yeah, I think that makes a ton of sense. Like there's no shame in having the coaching model out, right? I always have mine with me and I've been doing this forever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many great questions to ask, right? And we forget, we get our patterns. So
yeah, even sticky notes. They're my best friend. I'm like, hey, ask this one, ask that one.
That's a really good idea. Actually, I'm going to take that. I'm going to steal that one.
Steal it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Jen, for this conversation and for sharing your wisdom and from your experience, from leading across the globe.
Thanks, Brianne. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon.